What's up, everybody? It's the Bipolar Prophet, and welcome back to Old Ridge Farm in Farming Simulator 15. So, you can see it's 6:44 in the morning here on a foggy, kind of chilly day here in Old Ridge. It's cloudy, but no rain, as we've come to expect here in our little parish. It just seems like it's never going to rain again. And, of course, we're all keeping our fingers crossed and doing rain dances and everything else to hopefully get some rain, but none is in the offing, apparently. As you can see, we're planting potatoes, finally. I was kind of holding off on this till everything else was done. As I said in the last episode, everything is seeded now. This morning, before we came over here and started planting potatoes, I went around and sprayed almost all the fields. Well, not all of them. I sprayed the home field. I sprayed with herbicide, I should say. I sprayed field 1. I put some liquid lime on field 10 because field 10, as you guys probably remember, I'm always having a little bit of a pH problem over there. It's the only field I really have a pH problem with. And as I was going over the fields, obviously I was keeping an eye on the soil moisture, and it is not great. The home fields are not bad. Field 10 is, not great, which is why I planted soybeans over there. There are parts of that field where the soil moisture is 0, which, it's kind of funny that the soil acidity is not worse with that level of soil moisture. As you can see, this field is not horrible. 11%, it's not great, but, it's better than 0. Plenty of nutrients. The nutrient levels are good in all the fields that I've checked to this point. So you may see over there that I have the Ford and the case. The case is hooked up to the conveyor, if you can kind of see it through the fog, and the Ford is hooked up to a tipper. Well, if you guys remember from the harvest, I had reserved some potatoes in boxes to fill this back up again when it needed to be filled. Well, that was a no-go because, as I discovered fairly quickly, I didn't have anything to lock the boxes onto the forks with. I have pallet forks, obviously, from the CZ Mod Passion set, but apparently they don't lock, so I had no way to actually dump the potatoes from the boxes into the potato planter. So that basically meant that I had to go and sell all the potato boxes, and then go in the XML, in the career save game XML, to the potato section, add in 8,000 liters of potatoes, which is what I had in the boxes, and then go back, fill them up, put them in a tipper, and bring the conveyor over here. And what I'll do is, when this needs to be refilled, I'll set the conveyor up, dump the potatoes into the tipper, dump the potatoes from the tipper onto the conveyor and into the potato planter. It's always something, huh? So, what's been going on in Old Ridge since the last time you were with me? Not a whole lot. According to Mike, who, is friends with the vicar, I know the vicar. I don't talk to him a whole bunch. He is a very friendly guy. As you guys may remember, if you watch Mike's video, or if you, watch my last video on Old Ridge, and I had mentioned that the vicar had apparently blasted this, Citizens for a Moral Britain or whatever, organization, cult, whatever you want to call it, pretty good in his sermon, apparently, a bunch of them were in the church, obviously, got up, walked out, wrote letters to the bishop, of the area, and apparently the bishop is coming to visit Old Ridge. Now, that means nothing to me. I'm not particularly religious. I don't really, I don't know about church hierarchy and all that, but I'm guessing, the bishop is obviously the vicar's boss. And it may not go well depending on the amount of pressure that this organization can bring to bear on this guy. You know what? This may be the tipping point, of this whole thing, where if a good man gets fired for speaking his mind against something he sees as wrong or something he sees as an injustice, then that may be the thing that tips this whole thing back the other way, where a lot of us are going to have to do something, but for right now, I'm just an American in Britain, doing some farming, So, one other thing, I'd mentioned that the Old Ridge police may have been shadowing me. Apparently, I was just being paranoid, This whole situation has got me a little tweaked, to be honest. I know that I get looks, everywhere I go. I have long hair, I have a beard, I'm not your typical, stereotypical British farmer, I guess, you know what I mean? But I was thinking that maybe the police were under some pressure from the council, and from, of course, Miss Councilor Crawford Brown to kind of keep an eye on me. Apparently, it's the other way around. Apparently, the police are keeping an eye on the organization. Now, I know for a fact that members of this organization that I know are members of this organization have been frequenting my hedge and fence lines, videoing me farming or whatever, In fact, I'm sure there's some lurking around here somewhere, you know. And Nick, my seed rep, had actually pointed me out to a video on YouTube from this organization, you know, of me driving the Ford at a pretty good clip through the village, you know, black smoke belching out of the exhaust, you know, and it was not the most flattering of videos. There wasn't a voiceover, but there was some text on the screen, you know, that said, well, look at this American, he doesn't care about Britain, he doesn't care about our environment, you know, blah blah blah. You know, and when you watch the video without the context of sort of the negative connotations of the text on the screen, it's factual. I was, you know, going at a pretty good clip through the village. You know what I mean? The Ford does smoke a little bit, certainly, you know, but you know, it's all spun to make me look bad, I guess. You know, it's hard not to be paranoid when stuff like that is going on. You know, but okay, it is what it is. So this will actually be the Ford's probably last or second to last day on the farm. Ian Blake, as I mentioned before, had, you know, given me a call. A farmer from, you know, from a little ways away, had given me a call and said, hey, you know, I saw your post on, you know, on farmtractors.com. I was, you know, interested in that Ford, blah blah blah, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I kind of need to get rid of it, you know. He's, you know, got either a much bigger operation, or he's, you know, using it for some non-agricultural purpose where it doesn't really fall under all the noise and emissions regulations, you know. So, and of course, because, you know, getting rid of a tractor, as you can see, this was supposed to be a 2-tractor operation. It turned into a 3-tractor operation. Speaking of which, I left the case running over there, which is not ideal. I need to shut that off. So I need to replace it with something. Now, I have the Unimog, you know, I have the telehandler. The telehandler is not really good for much but, you know, being a telehandler. So, you know, anything that I hook to that, you know, it's not ideal to hook stuff up to it. So I need another tractor. So of course I call our friendly neighborhood dealer, who is more than happy to hear from me at every opportunity. You know, he's like, oh, John, you know, it's great to hear from you. What can I do for you? Well, I need a tractor, but I need something small. I have 2 big high horsepower tractors now, which, you know, for me, I don't ever see the need for anything bigger than this. These are probably the biggest, most powerful tractors I'm ever going to need on this farm. You know, and I'd like something a little different, and I'd like something that, you know, that works and that can do a bunch, you know, various things, but fits in with my, you know, overall scheme for the farm. And he's like, oh, I've got just the thing, you know, we've been looking at these on a demo, you know, and we've flown out to the factory and we've looked at them, and we really like them, and we think they'll be right up your street. And you know, so in a couple days, once the Ford is gone, I'm going to go over, I'm going to watch a video at the shop. He's going to show me one of these things, and then apparently in a week or so, he's going to have one at the shop for me to take a look at. So, you know, he was like, hey, you know, I get it with the JCB, it's not your thing, you know, it's a little too big or whatever, but you know, but I think this thing is perfect for you. Oh, good. So old BP might be spending a fair amount of money once again, but I need to, you know, I got to have it. So there's no, you know, no question about that. So. So this will be the last thing that's going in the ground. Everything else will be in the ground now. Now it's just soil maintenance. As you can see, I still have soil mod set to 2 days per growth cycle because it just slows everything down, kind of makes everything a little easier to keep up with, you know. The farm isn't massive by any means, but it is growing. So, and if we survive this year, and if I get any yield at all off of these, you know, really just, you know, dried up fields, I want to buy some more fields. So I also said I was going to show you some stuff in the last episode that I didn't get around to. So I'm actually going to do that now. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's jump in this. Just want to show you a couple things. One of them is right over here, actually. So, or no, where am I? Am I at the beef? I am at the beef farm. Okay. Oh, actually, if I just backed up, I wouldn't have to drive all over. So you can see it right there. You know, obviously, when you rear cattle, you know, when you have dairy cattle, you're going to have heifers. You're going to have cows that, you know, that rear calves. So I decided, you know what? It's time to start keeping some calves. So there you go, calves. You know, this will help. increase our dairy herd, you know what I mean? Because as these grow up, they will go on to the dairy herd, obviously. I do need to bring some straw and some milk over to them, so they don't have anything at the moment. So I basically just built this pen. I'm not sure why I didn't build it at the dairy. Oh, probably because I didn't have room. The dairy's so crowded, I didn't really have room for it over there. So, and then I want to show you, I made some additions. You guys may remember that I created the British Sugar beet collection point up here. Well, I was looking at it and I'm like, it's kind of cool. It's got 2 sheds and it's, and it's got a scale and everything. And it's got a nice sign, that I made that I was pretty proud of. But it could use some, I don't know, something. It just didn't have, every time I see, obviously I don't know anything about sugar beets in real life. You know what I mean? They don't grow sugar beets in the area that I live in real life. So all my sugar beet experience comes from either A, this game, or B, stuff I see on the internet, on YouTube. So, but every beet collection point I've ever seen is massive. It's got huge equipment and blah, 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 all this big stuff. So, not maybe 2 weeks ago-ish, I guess, on Mod Hoster, somebody released a really cool thing called the Zuckerfabrik. Basically, it's the sugar beet factory. And what's cool about it is you have to use Giants Editor to put it in. But what's cool about it is it's a bunch of different pieces that you can kind of pick and choose of what you want to use. You can see right here I've used the little office and the gate. I don't have a scale yet. I have to get a scale back over here. There is a scale with this. But as you can see, it's got 2 huge pits now. Basically, these are just triggers. You just drive in here. It may not be the smoothest thing in the world because the ground over here is a little rough, and I'm not great with smoothing. Basically, you drive over here, you dump your sugar beets. They go down this sort of underground thing here, which again is not the smoothest thing. And if we get out so you can see it, they go onto this giant sort of conveyor thing and get dumped into piles over there. Now, none of this is animated, unfortunately, and I'm not 100% certain how you would animate it, but I just thought for sort of an atmospheric thing that this would be cooler. It looks good, it's big, and of course, as sugar beet season comes, I'll put, big piles of stuff over here. Basically, it's just a sell point, but I thought it was neat. So one other kind of cool thing about this is you can actually, it's a real thing. You can actually kind of walk up here, so it doesn't really go anywhere, and it's a little tricky to get up here, as you can see. But you can actually sort of hop up here, and kind of look around the area, look around the conveyors and all that. So I thought that was kind of cool, thought that would be a neat addition to the to sort of the sugar beet facility over here. So jump back in this. We can shut that off. We can leave that right there for now and go back and see how everybody else is doing. I'm getting a lot of lag. I don't know what's causing it either. I really don't know. I don't know if it's a memory leak. I don't know if the old abacus here is just dying on me or not. I don't know. Oh, this is going to need to be refilled pretty soon. I may have too many potatoes. And if that's the case, I don't know what I'm going to do with them because I can't really sell them. And I don't know if they'll be any good for next year. I guess we can hold on to them and find out. Obviously, we're going to have, this is a good-sized field, so there'll be quite a few potatoes on this field to pull up anyway. So, yeah, I don't think this is going to be full. I mean, I don't think this is going to be full. Come on, BP. Sentences. Don't think that's going to have enough to make it. Okay, very good. So if I was smart, and we all know I'm not, I think what I will do is I will stop it right there, and I'll come back and fill it up. And then, how do I want to do this? Well, we're going to have to switch to this first and get this set up. Now, can I back this up? Now, could I have done this with the telehandler and a bucket? Sure, I could have. But I just decided that, you know what, I have this conveyor, I don't really use it for anything, so let's use it. It's kind of, it's a neat thing, I like it, so, okay, J it is. I don't really like having stuff around the farm that I have but don't use, because you're just paying maintenance on it, and you're not getting any benefit from it, you're not making any money off it, so, might as well use this, just spray it off real good after we loaded manure with it, run some disinfectant on it, and it'll be fine. So, plus the potatoes, they're just seed potatoes anyway. They're just going in the ground. So once they get sold and everything, they're going to get processed and all that. So they'll be fine. Okay, now, if I was smart, I wouldn't have to mess with this too much. I would just put this. Where do I want to put this? Where am I going to put this that it makes the most sense? Well, where it makes the most sense is to... Oh, don't crash into the tractor, please. Is if I drive this straight to the... it may be a little tricky to get the... get it just so. It's kind of hard to see. I need this now. Is that right? That's right. Yep, that's right. Yeah, way off. Way too far up. Okay. Can we? Let's see. Yep. You did not see me drive through that hedge. The reason I'm doing it like this is because it's easier to turn and everything on this hitch than it is on the back hitch. Because then you're just on the little sort of dolly wheels in the front. Not really made for maneuvering and stuff on those wheels. So, is that anywhere near that now? I can't see. The problem is I can't really see it. Okay. That will do. That will do. Now, if we turn that on, and obviously there's nothing on it, so, and then disconnect from it, and then move this, and we can back the, we'll get the tipper over here. Get off the field, get off the field, get off the field. It's always stuff like this that make, that ends up being a little fumbly. And when you, at least for me, I have it going in my head. I'm like, okay, I need the conveyor, I need a tipper, I need this, I need, I'm going to put it here, I'm going to get this set up, and I'm going to do all this stuff. And then when I actually do it, it's always like, oh, that didn't really work out exactly the way I had planned, did it? But, okay, gaming our way, right? No. I tend to do stuff a little differently than everybody else. Ultimately, a placeable pile and a bucket on the telehandler would have been the best way to do this. But I have this conveyor, and I want to use it. So it's just that simple. And I apologize for the jerkiness of whenever I move the mouse. My mouse is definitely dying. I am in the process of getting ready to replace the Abacus here, my trusty laptop that has made nearly 500 videos. It'll probably be 500 videos by the time I actually replace it, so give that a minute. Oh, did I get it? I got it. Wow, how about that? Would have never guessed. Cool. I mean, this is how it's done in real life, you know what I mean, more or less. Maybe not with a conveyor quite this big, obviously, but you see it. They use little conveyors and tippers and all that. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to do it that way too. But yeah, to get back to the new computer, what are you gonna do? No, you're gonna screw up. That's what you're gonna do. Okay. I have found a place that will sell me a computer, a gaming computer. Could I go in reverse? And let me pay, once a month for it. Sort of a, like a rent-to-own kind of deal. And so, I have to send him the first payment, obviously. And so in about 3 weeks, when I save the money, I will be sending them the money. About a week later, I'll get the computer. So in about a month and a half, once I get it all configured and set up and get everything transferred and everything else, hopefully you will see some higher quality videos. It's a pretty good system. It is a desktop. It's not a laptop anymore. I will be keeping the Abacus because, you know what? I spend a lot of time with this thing. I'm on this thing 8-10 hours a day some days, Made a lot of videos, made a lot of memories, made a lot of friends. I can't get rid of this. I like it too much. It's always been good to me. It's always done everything I've asked. Even the stuff that I know it's not designed to do, it still does it. So I can't get rid of it. But hopefully in about a month, there will be some higher quality videos coming on the channel and games that I want to record that I just can't record because the quality is too bad, even for me, with my current setup. So, all right, enough of that. Can we get a view here? I definitely need to get a new mouse, though. My mouse is not happy with me. I should have never stopped it where I stopped it. That's the problem. Can I go... If I go this way? No, that's going to leave a big space. That's going to leave a big space. Why is there such a... Well, maybe it's not going to leave a space. Come on, BP. Figure it out. Figure it out. All right, let's see what that does. Nope, that's going to be fine. So, okay, very good. Is there an offset on this? There must be, right? Yep. That would explain why I could never get on the right... Well, that'll teach me, won't it? Didn't really need an offset on this course, but okay. Can't fix it now because it'll screw it all up. So, all right, very good. Why would I have had an... Oh, was I mowing maybe? What was I doing with an offset for this course? I don't know. Can't remember. So probably what I'll do now is, now that everything is done, well, I need to bring some straw. You know what? We could actually be doing that right now because I think he's going to have more than enough potatoes now to finish. So we will let him do that. So I think I'll jump in the... let's see. Well, I'm going to need this because I need to bring straw and milk. And I don't think this thing will have any issue hauling the little milk trailer. So, okay, very good. You can see I have the forks on the front here where you can sort of see the red tips of the forks. Those forks work really well, but unlike everything, pretty much everything else that comes with that CZ Mod Passion sort of, telehandler front loader implement set, these don't lock. So I couldn't physically, I could pick up the boxes, no problem, but I obviously couldn't dump them, you know what I mean? There's no unload feature on those. They need to be physically dumped. If I was smart, I would have used that thing. But, I'm not smart, so. Basically, all I'm using that for is the chickens, which is kind of a waste, really. But speaking of the chickens, I should probably check on them. I haven't. I tend to forget about the chickens because they go through so little stuff. So. Okay, so I need to go to the dairy farm. Is my beacon on? Yes, my beacon is on. But I need to go out the right entrance. Need to go to the dairy farm and pick up the bale forks and a straw bale. And then we can get some milk. And I need to close these gates behind me, too. Otherwise, the insurance company's going to be around and be like, okay, so we gave you a pretty good discount for having these gates, and you're not closing them, so what's the point? Exactly. It's good to get the potatoes in the ground. The last thing now that needs to go in the ground. So you can see stuff's coming up. Sugar beets are starting to come up. I sprayed some A on them. Once again, thanks to my seed rep, Nick, for letting me know that. He gave me a little card. He was like, because I was telling him, he's showing me this video, and I was like, dude, I can never remember, what goes on what, And he's like, wow, you're not much of a farmer, huh? And I'm like, no, not at all. And he's like, all right, I got you, And of course, he didn't say I got you. He's, pretty proper British guy. But, he was like, I have something for you. He came back with a little card, that's got, he's like, okay, this is the stuff you grow at the moment. This is what you want to spray on it. These are the ratios, how many gallons or quarts or whatever per acre. And, at this speed, at this flow rate, I'm like, wow, thank you. Because I didn't, I'll never remember that stuff. So it was pretty awesome that he did all that for me. Okay, let's see. I'd like to know, I thought I had another set of bale forks. I guess I don't. You know what? I very well may, and they're just, somewhere. Who knows? So we'll grab these. I only need one bale anyway, so one bale should be enough to get started over there. This thing is going to tell me I need to put it on this, and then that, and then turn it back on again. Very good. It'd be nice to be able to increase the herd, without having to buy cows, I think you get one every 4 days, I believe, is how it works, so... Is this on? No. I need it to auto load, obviously. Only have 4 bales left, 4 straw bales, and they're not in the best shape. So, but they'll do for now. All right, very good. Now, let's grab the... Oh, I should have got the milk first, shouldn't I? Big silly. Now, I've never actually taken milk out of here. Where's the milk robot? I got to find a milk robot now. Oh, it's over there. Can I get to it? That's the question. I should be able to get to it, right? And what would be absolutely ideal is if I could get to it from this side. Let's see. Is that going to be a thing? Oh, is there water in this thing? Or is that showing me the bale? Let me, I'm just going to drop this bale real quick and see if it's showing me the bale. Yep, okay, it's showing me the bale. All right, very good. How do I do this? Well, Apparently I can't do it from here anyway, so, all right, very good. Did I not back up far enough? There we go. BP tries to get milk out of his... I do have milk in the tank. Oh, do I not have any milk in the tank, maybe? Let's find out. Before we start screwing around forever here, let's find out if I have any milk in the tank. Yep, I have 3,165 liters. Oh, they need mixed rations too, because I accidentally made forage instead of mixed rations. So you can see the chickens are, they're getting a little low on wheat, but they're still doing pretty good. So I got 32 eggs in there. I got a bunch of eggs I need to sell. The sheep are okay. Pretty sure the, yep, these are getting up there. Going to need to be selling these pretty soon. These guys are all set. So getting a little low on grain and earth fruits, but I'm not really worried about that as long as they have mixed rations. So. Okay, first of all, I need to figure out a way to get this, to get this milk. So, why did my beacon go off? There we go. I'm pretty sure this has a milk trigger. If not, I'm going to have to install one because otherwise I'm not going to be able to feed my calves. So, but I don't know that I've ever picked milk up, manually before. In fact, I'm pretty sure I never have. So I'm not really sure how it works. I'm guessing this is the tank. Oh, how am I going to get in there? How am I going to get in there? Well, you're going to back the tank in first, maybe, without snapping off the drop bar. Wow, why does this thing not want to turn? Am I dragging the bale on the ground? Oh, I didn't think I was. Gonna have to pull way up here. What would BP doing this episode? He, I don't know, messed around in his cow meadow for 20 minutes. Trying to get milk out of his milk robot when that's not where it comes from. Again, this would be one of those times where if you guys have any suggestions for me, I'd be glad to hear them. So. Look, he's gone quiet. He's concentrating. Yes, he is. He is concentrating. Okay, so that's not looking particularly... yeah, that's not... Okay, where do I get milk from? I guess what's going to happen is that I'm not going to mess around with this for too long. I'll just be like, okay, can somebody tell me where to get milk from? And then I'll wait for you guys to tell me, and then I'll get the milk, But I can at least bring them a bale, I guess. Bring them one straw bale. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure back in Farming Simulator 2013, I had... now, the milk truck... I know there's no milk truck in Farming Simulator 15, but if there was, the milk truck wouldn't go through all this just to get milk. So there's got to be a way to get this from the other side. There's got to be. Okay. I don't know. So, very good. Hopefully one of you guys can tell me, BP, you're a big idiot. I know I am. Oh, there's no doubt about that. Let's see. Health and safety. Listen, excuse me, Cow 46. I don't want to run you over. So. Well, we'll bring the bale down to the rearing shed there, and then what I was saying about Farming Simulator 2013, I'm so unfocused today. I was up so early, and I've already had so much coffee that I'm just like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But back in Farming Simulator 2013, you may remember Marhu's, breeding sheds, and I'm pretty sure that I got milk off of the milk robot at Hagenstead, which was of course the in-game farm, you know. Um, so I'm pretty sure it works. I just don't know how I did it, and I don't remember. I may have a mess with it off screen, you know what I mean? But if you guys want to leave it in the comments, and if I figure it out ahead of time, you know, I'm going to say thank you in advance for you know, hey BP, you big doofus, it's over here, you know. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys know I need all your tips. I need all your help, you know, because I don't know what I'm doing 90% of the time, so. You know, this is all part of the gaming your way thing. You know, stuff like this happens. You do something you either have never done before or haven't done in a very long time in a game, and you're like, I don't know how this is supposed to work, and I don't know where to go to get this, and I don't know how to do this, right? Well, you know, and do some people who make videos cut that out? Well, I don't want to look stupid, so I'm going to cut that out. Yeah, okay, and that's cool. That's you. You know what I mean? That's them. That's the way they want to make videos. That's fine. Me, you know, I like to think, and I say this a lot, but I mean it. I like to think that I play games like regular people, right? Whatever regular people means. Meaning that I like to leave stuff like that in my videos because, you know, and I love it when you guys leave me comments that say things like, you know, hey man, thanks for leaving that stuff in because, you know, that stuff happens to me, that I do that, you know, and it makes you feel like you're actually playing a game. Thank you. You know what I mean? That means a lot to me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to be a YouTube superstar or anything like that. You know what I mean? I'm just a guy who plays games and makes videos. And if stuff messes up, oh well, you know? And if it's funny, that's even more of a bonus. Now, I'm not really sure how this is going to work. I've never obviously used this particular thing before, so I think if I'm lucky, I can, once I switch to this, of course, I can unlock that and then maybe shred it in here, perhaps. Oh, I've kind of locked myself in a position here. I'm stuck. Not a lot of room. I guess I probably didn't have to drive all the way in here. Am I going to be able to make it this way? Leap! No. Why can't I shred this bale? All right, let me get this out of the way. First. Now, can I shred this bale? No. That's going to be an issue. Maybe it's not. Maybe the trigger's further back. I don't really know. Again, I've never used these before, so I don't really know how this all works. Or does this only take loose straw? Don't tell me I'm going to have to buy a straw shredder just for this thing. Let's try that. And then I got to back up again because I won't be able to get out. It's obviously pretty tight in here, you know. It's a neat building though. It's a neat mod, you know. Nope. Where does the straw go? Okay. I'm going to have to go read the description of this. Does that mean I'm going to have to buy a straw shredder just to put straw in this thing? Wow, that's going to cost some money, huh? I did watch Caravera76 do a not a mod. Oh, not yeah. Why do I keep calling it not a mod showcase? That's not what he calls his stuff, maybe. I did watch him do a mod review on this, and he used loose straw. Probably why he used loose straw, because it doesn't work with bales, maybe, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Well, you know what? That bale's going to stay right there anyway. If I've got to buy a straw shredder, I've got to buy a straw shredder, because in the long run, the amount of calves I'll get out of this will save me the money. So, because unlike Marhu stuff, if you remember Marhu stuff, one of my biggest complaints with Marhu stuff was that it was really expensive, to buy and to get the cows up and running, and it was cheaper just to buy new calves or new cows for your dairy. This case, it's not, because this was very inexpensive, and it'll just transfer the cows once they're mature over to the dairy, and the herd will just keep perpetuating, and I won't have to worry about it so much. Okay. Anyway, you guys want to let me know about that? That would be awesome. I would really appreciate it. So, let's see. I think I have too much stuff going on the map now, too. I remember Bjornholm was really laggy towards the end because I had so much stuff going on. You got to be careful, especially if you don't have a ton of memory, and you don't have a ton of graphics power and everything, like I don't. You got to kind of be careful with what you stuff onto a map, because the computer's, got to draw it all, got to work on it all, And that's probably what's slowing everything down here. So it's unfortunate, but if I could ever get to the tractor that's actually working, that would be fantastic. There we go. Still not done yet, huh? I may have to fill this up again. Oh, okay, very good. And of course the fog and everything too. You think the fog would help, but it really doesn't. It actually creates more lag. So, all right, I'm gonna take a screenshot here. Let me just hide my HUD real quick. And screenshot. That'll work. That's pretty. Foggy day here in Old Ridge. So there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, let me know what you think in the comments. If you liked it, please click the like button. You know what I mean? I don't set goals for likes and stuff. If you guys like the video, click the like button. If you don't like the video, let me know in the comments. You know what I mean? Anything that I can do that doesn't fundamentally change the way that I make videos or change the theme and the direction of the channel, I'd be glad to do. Video quality, can't do anything about it. Lag, can't do anything about it. Hopefully Abacus 2, which is what I'm going to call the new computer, even though it's not going to be an Abacus, will sort of alleviate all those problems. And thank you so much, guys, for everything you guys do for the channel, for the comments, for the likes, for the subscriptions, for the interactions, for the friend requests on Facebook and Steam and everything else. It means a lot to me. Even if I don't respond to you guys right away, please don't take that personal. I'm just really busy. Obviously I have a real life and I try to do this, So, but it does mean a lot to me, guys. Thank you so much. The 2,000 subscriber video is coming, I promise. I'm just trying to figure out what game I want to play while I do it, because it needs to be a game that can kind of do its own thing in the background while I just yammer over it, much like every game that I play, I guess. But that is coming, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, guys, thank you so much for making me a part of your YouTube day. And this is the Bipolar Prophet saying, see you later.